Clubhouse.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Beacon 23 recap. Today's episode is brought to you by our friends at Boat Rocker. They're the masterminds behind both Beacon 23 and the legendary Orphan Black series.
Oh, nice. Can you tell us what that's about? I haven't heard of the Orphan Black series yet.
Well, I can do that. It's actually this intense show about an outsider orphan girl named Sarah, who is used to essentially being a fly on the wall until she sees her doppelganger commit suicide. So, since this other girl looks just like her, Sarah decides to take over that stranger's identity, and things do not go as planned. And she ends up tangled in a whole web of mystery, and it's a pretty gripping show. So, expect to see plenty of conspiracy and deceit in this one.
Ooh, I like that. I can't wait to watch it.
Don't forget to relive the gripping suspense of Orphan Black. Watch all 5 seasons on AMC Plus and BBC America today. Go now, quickly! Welcome to Three Hosts and a Beacon. I'm Paul, and I'm joined with my superlative co-hosts, Gabby and Inez. How are you guys doing tonight?
Woohoo! Amped to be back.
Super duper duper excited. Bow, 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 bow. We're so cool.
If you're listening to this podcast from the United Kingdom, you're in the right place. Although the show is already finished in the US, we thought we'd preview the second season of Beacon 23 and our exciting coverage for Beacon's premiere in the UK. Why don't we start off with a quick recap of where we left off? All right, so picture it. Season 1, on the Beacon, column members have invaded, and everything's starting to go nuts. What's Bart's status where we left him?
D-E-D. Dead.
Bart dead.
Bart
He
dead.
He done.
He's so dead.
He's dead.
She done told you he dead.
He done did it to himself.
Poor Bart.
Oh my
He
God.
did.
No, you guys. I am not. Yeah, you asshole. Don't. We're just talking shit, and now I'm sad. I forgot about that because I am a horrible human. Oh my gosh.
It's okay, Gabby.
Again.
He's an AI. He didn't feel it.
He did it to himself. That is so sad. How dare you bring that up? You ruined my day, Paul. We got to move on. We got to move on.
Gotta move on. Okay, well, let's think of some other things that happened in the finale.
Aster!
Oh, yeah, that person. The whole season ended with Kier, played by Lena Headey's actual real-life husband.
Very exciting.
Shoots her.
Oh, that's not exciting. Yes, the column representative, Kier, he was so jealous that he shot her. And you know, I'm kind of a little confused as to how that or why that even happened. Did he want it to be him? That's right.
I think there is some jealousy there, right? Like, he didn't feel like she deserved the special position with the artifact because she did not share their beliefs. And he thought that that was a very important thing. She had made up her mind that she was going to go, I don't know, commune with the artifact, but he just didn't like that solution. So, yeah, he took matters into his own hands.
What a piece of shit that guy. That guy sucks.
Yeah. I would really love, though, to be, you know, like a fly on the wall in their like dinner table talking about this after they watch it. Right?
Maybe
fun.
Maybe they have like a deal. Maybe they take turns killing each other in productions.
Like there are multiple endings?
No. That say maybe next time he gets hired to something, then it's written into his contract that Lena comes along as a role that gets to kill him.
I really wish that was real.
Go back and forth.
Wait, is he in Game of Thrones? He can be.
That's true. There is a Game of Thrones right now, but I don't know.
Okay.
So what do we think? Do we think that she's dead, or did they leave it definitive, or are we still wondering what her fate is?
I mean, I know when I finished season 1, I thought she was a goner with that kind of classic back of the head bashing that she suffered when she fell. That kind of $1 million baby head wound.
Oh my God. I'm just extra sensitive today with your references, Paul. It's so
with
horrible.
her eyes open, looking right at you as she dims into the abyss.
Jesus. Okay.
So that's where it leaves off, though, right?
No, I'm in denial. I'm going to say she's alive because that's what I do on this podcast.
You do take the opposition side often. Yes, that's
no,
true.
I deny. Okay, I live on my cloud is what I do. Okay,
That's true.
sorry, you take that as like countering your opinion.
All right, so that's where the season picks up. That's where season 2 is going to kick off for you.
Fun fact, I heard that they filmed 9 months straight, so they picked up season 2 right where they left off. So we're gonna get some answers to our questions very soon.
Some of them, yeah, and then they start to form brand new ones just as soon as the cameras roll. There's a lot to expect in season 2, and we're going to mention some highlights here of both the show and the podcast to entice you to finish both of them, the show and our podcast, because we have a lot of coverage coming up, not just episodic recap and discussion, but we also have interviews with cast members and crew members that might help you get some insight into your favorite aspects of the show.
Oh man, that's really exciting.
Yeah, super.
One of the things to look forward to
Thank you.
is our podcast favorite character, Harmony. She finally gets some time in the Beacon spotlight. And I think that was our collective favorite episode this season.
Yes. This season showcases our girl Harmony, and I'm very, very happy about that. We also get some AI action. We meet more AI, yes?
Yeah, we get kind of an expansion of the AI world, other personalities within that, I guess culture might be a word. I don't know. But definitely it expands what we understand of Harmony's existence.
Yeah, it's super fun. I think everybody's going to really enjoy it. And I really hope that it entices everybody to also go listen to the interview with Natasha because it was the best.
Actually, yeah, our interviews, hey, listeners, our interviews are pretty freaking fantastic, honestly. We are awesome. And see for yourself and then circle back, because speaking with Natasha was great fun. Speaking with showrunner Glenn was freaking fantastic.
The conversation that you guys had with Natasha, which I recommend listening to toward the end of the season because there will be some spoilers in it, but it is available for people that just want to jump in. It covers not only show type things, but Natasha's own history as an actress and her future as a creative person. It gets into very personal type details because Gabby's not afraid to ask anybody anything.
Because I have Riz.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
a thing.
Oh, look at
say.
her. Look at you
I've
embracing
got
Gen
Riz.
Z.
That's the only word I know, but it's a good one. Go see Natasha. Be awesome and happy because we're really cool.
Yeah, that was an enjoyable interview for me to edit, and I'm glad you two got the opportunity to talk to her for quite a long time. And it was just like everyone just kind of ran out of time at some point, I think, but I think you guys could have talked for another hour.
Oh my God. Yeah. It was we were just like around a campfire. It felt like it was great.
Best friends forever. But also Glenn's interview.
Glenn, we actually get to talk to Glenn twice. One toward the middle of the season and one at the finale. Gabby and I got a chance to ask some clarifying questions, both midstream and at the end.
This season does lend itself to more questions, as you already mentioned, Paul, and we will go through that journey. Just hang in there, stick through it, and then Glenn does a really beautiful job in closing some of those gaps.
Oh my gosh, closing all of those gaps. And then on top of that, one common theme with all of these interviews that 3 hosts in a Beacon produced was that they are so vulnerable. Everyone is vulnerable. We got to know each human behind the scenes part of this project. And we learned that it's a really great community and excellent vibes. So I think that even if someone hasn't watched the show, just getting to listen to these interviews is going to be entertaining and special enough.
We also get, in season 2, we get to meet a new character.
Yeah.
That's true.
And I love her so much. She's so great.
I didn't get to meet her, but tell us how it went.
Yeah, and so this new character, which I will leave it for you to meet her later on, but we got to interview, Paul and I got a chance to speak with Ellen Wong. Ellen Wong is such a fun actress. I remember her from watching Scott Pilgrim Saves the World, and she plays Knives Chow. That interview was really fun. She actually goes into a little bit history about that, and then you can just hear her like passion and excitement around like the development of this character. Like she really takes care of this character, and you feel that passion with it. And so when you listen to her interview and then you go back and watch the character progress, like it's just a really fun element and layer to include in that perspective as you're watching the show.
You know, I don't think it's a spoiler alert to say that she's a beacon keeper.
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I think so. We expand the universe a little bit, and we get to spend a little bit of time off of Beacon 23. It's maybe the only substantial time in the show, except for those weird Halen flashbacks, where we do spend any time off the Beacon.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Speaking about time off the Beacon, I think it's a really good segue to like talking about the set. The sets, you get some new perspectives on it, some fresh, evolved graphics that are just really great. And then that tied into, I think you two did the interview with Evan Weber.
Evan Weber is the production designer for Beacon 23. And that interview will drop on the 28th of June. That is fresh for the UK audience. The United States audience has not heard this interview yet. And when you do, you will be treated to a guy with very kind of holistic, cerebral responses to every question put to him. Nothing was just a simple, solid line connection between question and answer. It was a cobbled together like stew of influences and bullet points to answer our questions. What did you think about talking to Evan?
Oh, wow. No, I thought that he was pretty straightforward and just elaborated beautifully because he's an artist and an architect. So I followed.
I could follow him. It was just, it drew from so many sources, I thought.
No, he's a complex guy, and it takes that. Yeah.
Yeah, I really enjoyed and I appreciated that of how much care it takes to do that. That's something that I relate to personally. Like whenever I'm participating in our conversations here, I'm drawing inspiration from like so many different elements. And so, you know, I felt like I related a lot and appreciated a lot because I know how much work and care that takes. And he does it on like a superb level. Like I'm very rookie at it with just my casualness with both of you, right? But I really enjoyed that. I'm excited for people to hear that interview.
He's got a great background. He was an art director on Handmaid's Tale when they won an Emmy. So he's an Emmy winner. He's been on the sequel to Avatar. He's been on very big shows. So he definitely knows what he's doing.
Shape of Water. Right. No, he has a deep vision and he's unconventional, I would say, in this space, just because oftentimes people are kind of single-laned performers or single-laned talent, and he is multifaceted and impressive just as a human, and then on top of that as like being part of the entertainment industry. So I guess that's what it is. Maybe you're just highly impressed with his diversity. His
I mean, if you go to his
background.
That's right. If you go to his website, you'll see like a listing for like film, architecture, music, something else. You don't usually
incredible guy.
Yeah, you
Super
don't
cool
find
guy.
these skills all in one person. And then we found out at the very end of the interview that he's actually married to an Olympic gold medalist.
Oh yes, I forgot about that.
Isn't that kind of cool?
Super cool. Super duper cool.
Very high bar around that house, I'm sure, for grades and achievements.
I
and
mean,
stuff.
he worked on Avatar the Way of the Water, and that's visually beautiful.
Yes,
Shape of Water. It's just it was an honor to speak with this talented
He's an
human.
Olympic gold medalist in his industry.
Yeah,
There we go.
that's the way it goes. Yeah. But he's not the only behind the scenes talent that we got to talk to. We also got to talk to Will Marriott, the composer of the music on Beacon 23. He's been a longtime collaborator with Ramin Djawadi, who, if you watch TV or movies, there's a pretty darn good chance you've heard his work, and actually Will's work, because as he was assisting Ramin, he would also get the opportunity to write music on these different shows like Game of Thrones, Westworld, just a long list of the most prominent TV and movies in the last 10 years.
Yeah, that interview was really fun to listen to. You both were the ones who facilitated that conversation and kicked off like the entire series. So great job, both of you. But yeah, I found Will like super, he was so sweet. And I really enjoyed listening to kind of like his journey and vision. I felt like he was a very humble guy.
Incredibly modest. Yeah.
So
you got that
modest.
sense, didn't you?
Yeah. Especially when he's like, oh yeah, like helped with the traveling Game of Thrones orchestra.
These people, this team, I think I did not expect everyone to just actually be incredible humans. The egos the talent that they have, and the egos with I don't know, I feel like everyone's confident, but it was just great attitudes with everything. No combative egos with each other or anything like that. It was really, really special.
They all conveyed a supreme sense of giving, donating to the team.
Exactly.
There wasn't an I in their team.
Yeah, that was like so refreshing. We all like want to work in a very healthy environment, but it just seemed like a consistent message of each one of them as individuals, like sharing the same story that it wasn't rehearsed. It was very genuine, that they all just felt like a really wonderful harmony and vibe amongst them. And they just all had
word.
Yeah.
Harmony, we love you.
That's true, though. Yeah. It even comes from the top. If you recall talking to Glenn or listening to Glenn, when there was an idea that didn't come from his head, he was quick to point out whose credit it belonged to every time. That's a powerful example to set at the top.
Yeah, completely. And especially considering all of the news and action from these toxic work environments these days, it's just so refreshing knowing that there's just beyond impressively safe environments out there in the industry.
I think it's a really great call out too, because I feel like the film industry is probably, I perceive it as probably one of like a slower evolution in like healthy work environments. I feel like their history, when we were kids growing up, we always would hear that like you just deal with the toxic environment because you just do what you need to do to make money. And so you've been seeing all these people put in so much hard work in the laws, in the politics, in influencing cultural change in the industry. And like this Beacon 23 crew, it really is setting a bar high that I hope none of them, I hope none of them feel like they ever have to negotiate their comfort and space like that ever again in their lives. I feel like it really genuinely changes the world and makes spaces like really great, and it empowers every single person in that crew, gets to leave empowered and take that influence in and start really implementing that change. And I feel like that is such an important call out that I really so admired from everybody. And then meeting everyone and their personalities, like, I went back and rewatched some of these episodes with that kind of like setting in mind, and it just like adds like such a different element to it, when you just know like this is the goal, just this working space, this dynamic.
Yeah, and so maybe it would be a good idea for new listeners in the US or anywhere actually to have a listen at these interviews and then go back and watch through a different lens for a new level of appreciation.
Especially when you get that finale conversation with Glenn, I think you'll fully appreciate.
Oh my gosh.
Maybe some of the details that were there that might have slipped by you.
That's true. That interview, holy smokes. his words, his vision, him just being vulnerable and sharing with us, just everything, answering every question, just it felt really good. It was really nice to do. It was really lovely to listen to play back. He's incredible. We are very fortunate, I think, to have been able to partner with this team because these people are so dynamic and truly these are brilliant brains.
What else could you want in an advertisement for listening to a podcast and watching a great show like Beacon 23? I don't have anything else to say.
I just would encourage, I would encourage people to just stick through it. Stick it all the way through the end. The finale is so great. It's so worth it. You're going to have questions along the way, but that's what these shows are about. It's about inciting curiosity. If you find that you're hitting a block somewhere, just think outside the box. And that's what I really appreciated about the show. And talking it out with my friends here, right? Paul and Gabby really helped me kind of get through some of those pieces. And sometimes that's just what it takes. So just stick through it, get to the end. The finale's worth it. And these interviews are so fun. And you really get a sense to feel like who they are as humans. And that's really cool.
It's good advice. Because halfway through, you're going to have so many questions.
A lot more questions. I actually was like a little bit, I know that we had an interview with Glenn in the beginning and he was confident about questions being answered at the end. And I believed him because that's what I do with the Beacon 23. I just believe. And I cannot believe how well he actually delivered it. I felt so good at the end. I'm ready for season 3, absolutely. But if there isn't a season 3, I think it closed up pretty well. So that was awesome.
Well, Beacon listeners, that is a lot to look forward to. And I hope you join us on our journey from the beginning of season 2 all the way through episode 8 with all of our recaps, discussion, and all of the interviews, starting off with that brand new interview with production designer Evan Weber.
Yeah, and I think, spoiler alert, just kidding, not a spoiler, we do get a whole episode dedicated to our favorite character.
Absolutely.
Tune in for that.
Yeah, that one stands out. That one was super fun.
Episode 2, guys. Watch it.
All right, if you like this podcast and would like to be reminded every time it comes out, please remember to rate, review, and subscribe to it on iTunes or Spotify or YouTube or Amazon or wherever you listen to podcasts. If you have a question or comment for the hosts, please leave it at podclubhouse.com on any one of the posts for the 3 Hosts in a Beacon podcast, and we will get back to you as soon as we can. Thanks a lot.
Thank you for listening. This has been an original Pod Clubhouse production. Pod Clubhouse is a podcast network dedicated to encouraging collaboration among podcasters and friends to bring a fresh voice and diverse perspective on a wide array of content. Please visit and leave a comment for us at podclubhouse.com. Rate, review, and subscribe to our podcast feeds on Apple Podcasts. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. You can find us at Pod Clubhouse. Our DMs are always open, and we'd love to hear from you.